beg you, don't go and buy pressure for me. Beg you. You know the number of people who are waiting to see what I'll say again. Then if the team backfired, will say, this guy. You won't get me. Okay. You won't get. The first one, I didn't see anything in spirit. I just came here, I gave my humble opinion. So I'm going to give another humble opinion. But if it's far.
But the first opinion far.
The first one far.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one too has a possibility of fine. So let me give disclaimer. What I'm about to say is likely to happen if it remains 11v11. Because we know Madrid. If there 2 minutes, VAR penalty, red card. Then they'll give Arteta red card. Then, so if it remains 11v11, this is likely to happen.
Okay.
When Madrid are chasing games, in fact, for a very long time, they tend to be very careless defensively. They leave a lot of spaces in behind. But most of the time, they are not punished because they thrive in chaos. So when Madrid like the game very chaotic, open, end-to-end action. They obviously have more quality than most of the teams they face. So they tend to finish off the chances that they create within those chaotic moments. That is one. The spaces they leave in behind when they are chasing games. Another thing about Madrid also, which has worried them in the big games this season, is their defensive shape when they are pressing. Ancelotti likes to go 4-4-2, with the two at the top usually being Mbappe and then Vinicius Jr. Now, it's an issue because as the game goes on, almost every time, they lose their defensive awareness and it becomes very easy for the opposition teams to build from the back and pick out the passes that they want. So, I'm going to show you Madrid's weakness in transition when they are chasing games, how careless they become, the bodies they commit for it, trying to force the issue. And I'm saying that is what will happen because Madrid are chasing, they are trying to close down a 3-0 gap. This is not Man City where the second leg was 4-3 and it was just one goal. This is not PSG where it was just 1-0 from the first leg. This is not Chelsea where it was 3-0, they just needed one goal. This time Madrid needs to score 3. So they are going to start very aggressive. In fact, the players are all alluding to it. If you listen to Vinicius, if you listen to Ceballos, they are alluding to it. They are going to start very aggressive. And when they start very aggressive, it means they are going to commit bodies forward, and it means spaces are going to be left in behind. Now, Arsenal have the advantage because of the way they play. Arsenal don't tend to panic when opposition teams are coming at them. We saw it in the last 10 minutes of that game at the Emirates, when Madrid wanted to force the issue immediately after the goal. Arsenal had Partey who would take the steam out of the game. A sideways pass, backward pass, slow the tempo, then Madrid will need to start trying again. But they were able to exploit those spaces that Madrid left in behind. So I'm going to show you some 1 or 2. So Real Madrid against Barcelona, scoreline was 3-1. Madrid pushed bodies forward. This is a corner kick for Madrid. There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players. There was only one player in the defensive third, in fact, in this shape, that was a defensive third. Barcelona put some small pressure on Valverde. Lamine Yamal picks the ball. Bodies are committed forward. Look at Mendy, Akuyasan. And then Rafinha picks it up. A nice pass to Balde. Counter-attacking move. Barcelona score. Again, Madrid were chasing the game. They had to commit bodies forward. There were plenty gaps left behind. Now, this is Madrid against Leganes. Madrid had taken the lead. Leganes had scored. Madrid went extra aggressive. This is in the middle. Leganes press, win the ball back from the middle zone. There are spaces in behind. They commit bodies forward. It's a counter-attacking situation. Ball is cut back. And then Leganes take a 2-1 lead. Goal. This is, again, Madrid in transition. Number 3, Madrid against Dortmund. This season's Champions League. Dortmund scored an early goal. It was Dani K who scored. Madrid went extra aggressive. You would see Vasquez had pushed forward. They were almost playing a back 3. They had pushed bodies forward. The ball was lost on the left-hand side. It was switched to the right-hand side. Ryerson picks it up. And then Dortmund spring an attack. Watch the run of Gittins. He goes past the man who's supposed to be marking him. Poor defensive instincts from Vasquez. Dortmund score again. Another transition moment. Then we look at Madrid again. This time against Barcelona. And I mentioned the tendency of their front two to switch off in terms of the pressing. And when it happens like that, when you have quality teams easily building from the back, it's an issue. Barcelona used 3 passes to score this goal. 1 pass from the goalkeeper, then the ball goes to Balde. That's 2, 3, and then straight. The 3rd pass has gone to Rafinha. Another one, Madrid completely open at 4-1 when they were trying to force a press, an aggressive press. But because the front two were not aggressive enough, it ended up being another goal for Barcelona. Then you look at the game against Liverpool this season. Madrid have pushed forward. Mbappe loses the ball. Liverpool again in transition. Yes, they didn't score, but it just shows you how Madrid they have that tendency to be opened up in transition. And then this was a very good clearance from Asensio. And then we see another one, I think later on in the game, in the second half. This one ended up in the penalty. Transition moment, Liverpool won it, high up, through ball to Salah, isolated Mendy one-on-one, turned him inside out. Mendy put him on the floor. Now the big question is, we've not really seen Arsenal as a counter-attacking team, but they have it. That's the dynamism of this Arteta team that I tend to like. They usually have control, so they don't really have those transition moments. But when they have to, we have seen them do it. We saw them do it this weekend against Brentford. You hardly seen Raya pick up the ball and quickly release it. But it was a first half where they had labored to carve Brentford open. So they knew that they needed to force the issue on the counter-attack. And as soon as he won the ball, rolls it out to Rice. Look at their 2 defensive midfielders are the ones running forward. Partey didn't stop running. There was only 1 attacker in this mix, and then Partey ends up scoring. So an assist from the 2 defensive midfielders in Arsenal. It just shows you the mentality. Then again, we saw it this season against Manchester City. City were trying to push forward. Partey picks it up. He gives a through ball there to, I think it was Martinelli, and then Havertz makes the run. This is another transition moment. They caught Man City off guard. Havertz with a very good finish. So Arsenal can do it. The only thing is that we don't see a lot of evidence of it because of how they play and because of the control they usually have in certain games. This was Arsenal against Tottenham Hotspur, and this sort of mimics what we saw Leganes do against Real Madrid. High up, Partey wins the ball from midfield. A very good tackle from Thomas Partey. And straight away, Odegaard picks it up. He finds a space to Trossard, who goes on to score. So the point is, Arsenal have a huge advantage. Madrid are going to start in a very open manner. If Arsenal and Thomas Partey, because he has a very important role on Wednesday, if he can take the steam out of the game and manage that game for the first 10 minutes, we are going to see large spaces open up. And the likes of Martinelli, Saka, Merino, who has the physicality to occupy defenders. And in fact, during the clips I was showing, because of the lack of time, you would see Rudiger is not really good when it comes to his intelligence and how to defend transition moments. He tends to move towards the attack. He makes a lot of very poor decisions. So Merino's movement will also be very critical in what happens on Wednesday. But I believe that Arsenal have everything tactically in place.
Will there be a set-piece goal?
Oh, the Spurs haven't told me. Arsenal have everything tactically in place to get the job done. But if that thing doesn't win,